Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I'm a visual artist and voice coach from Singapore, currently in Singapore, and welcome to day 84 of my 100 day vlog series. So if you're someone who has a dream and you want to make it come true and you're not quite sure how to go about getting started on that, or you've started taking action but you're feeling confused, you're feeling stuck, you're wondering if this is really the right thing for you to do, well, I totally get it because I've been on this journey for many years now. And I created this Live Your Dreams vlog series to share whatever it is that I've learned and what I've experienced in the hopes that you can find some clarity as you're figuring out your own journey of making your dreams come true, of pursuing your passion, and creating a worthy and meaningful purpose for yourself. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. So the past couple of days, I shared about how when we have a dream, we want to make sure that we have a specific form that we can manage to manifest as an outcome in the near future, ideally within 1 month. And when we have this form then and we create a project around it, you want to look at the specific actions that you are taking and whether they are direct actions that would lead to the direct outcome of that form of that dream that you have, and how much time are you really spending on the indirect actions versus the direct actions. So with indirect actions, it gives us the illusion that we are working towards our dreams, that we are taking actions, which we are, but you don't want to spend too much time there because it becomes a comfort zone. It becomes a thing where you feel like, oh, I am really doing something and I'm being very productive here, but actually in reality you're not getting closer to the outcome that you want. And the direct actions are really what would get you there, so you want to spend more time and energy on doing what directly gets you there and taking action on the direct stuff that's going to get you there. So this is where it brings to mind how a lot of times the way we live our lives is very dependent on external forces and things that are outside of ourselves. So it's not so much that things are beyond our control, but rather we give away a lot of our control and our power to things outside of us and to external circumstances, and we're not taking full responsibility of the things that could happen for our project. So as an example, when I was looking for a venue for my first solar exhibition many years ago, I went to one gallery and I asked, if I could rent their space to have my exhibition, and he told me that they don't do that. And immediately, naturally, there's a part of me that who doesn't believe that I deserve my dream. Immediately, I start telling myself that, maybe I'm just not meant for it because one person rejected me. And a lot of times, that's what happens to us, right? We start taking action on our dreams and we have an unconscious expectation that just because we start taking action, that just because we start putting ourselves out there, that just because you start posting something on social media, that the whole world would somehow be alerted to it and everything and all the forces in the universe would kind of align and things would just magically unfold and happen for you. And I shared about this a few vlogs ago about how, yes, the universe does conspire to support you in your dream and to give you the thing that you are looking for. But this only happens when you have been taking action up to a certain point where enough chips have fallen into place and something opens up as a result. So when we're first starting out, we have to watch out for this tendency to want to give our control away to factors outside of ourselves. So if, let's say, you try something towards your dream, something that you've never done before, and then you don't get the outcome that you want, what do we do then? Because there are people who give up at that moment. There are people who decide that, I'm just not meant for this, and they, go back to do something else that they think they're meant for, and therefore they keep jumping from dream to dream and not really focused on putting all their energy and attention into one thing to make it happen. Or are you someone who goes, okay, that didn't work, let me try something else. And then if that doesn't work, I'll just try something else. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to try something else. But every single time you try something, it's a new action that still takes you in that direction of your dream. Now that is an example of someone taking charge of their dream and willing themselves to make it happen, no matter what curveballs the universe or the external environment might throw your way. Now this is something when I was religious. My family is Catholic and I grew up Catholic. Well, I grew up a Sunday Catholic, but I became more serious about my faith when I was 17 or 18 years old and all throughout my 20s. And I ended up misunderstanding a lot of things because I always thought that, God has a plan for me. And since God has a plan for me and it's God's will, then things would happen as God plans them, and it would just happen. I don't really have to do anything, or I would just have to do a little bit and something would magically happen. Though there's also a saying that God helps those who help themselves. So ultimately, you still have to do the work. You still have to take action. Even if you're religious and that is what you believe in, God's will, well, you still have to do the work in order for God's will to manifest itself, I guess. So the key thing here is that a lot of times we give our power away to external environment, and we think that we're not in control of our lives, when really how you manifest your dream comes back down to your will and your intention and your perseverance and you telling yourself that no matter what, I'm going to make this thing happen. And what drives you to do that is really how connected you are to this dream and how much it resonates with you and how badly you really want it and how much it matters to you, such that when you look back at the end of your life, you can say that, hey, I did everything that I could and at least I tried. It didn't, I might have failed at it, but at least I tried, at least I did something and I did everything that I could to make it happen. So that being said, whenever we start taking action towards our dreams and something doesn't work, a lot of times we have to reflect again on ourselves. One, first of all, are you doing the right thing? Was the action step that you took, does it make sense towards the goal that you want? Maybe it happened too early when you're not ready for it yet because you need to do something else first. Maybe you've spent too much time over there and you needed to do something else instead. Or maybe it could be you as a person, like your attitude was off about it or something, or you were doing it very begrudgingly, or you weren't feeling it that day, or that day you were having a bad day and you weren't able to put that aside and just focus on your project, and so everything just kind of, snowballed and got even worse. So there's always so many factors that go into why we don't get the result that we want. And it is up to us to have that discipline to slow things down and to reflect and to say, okay, what exactly went wrong? And a lot of times when you figure out exactly what went wrong, which may not happen on your second or third try, okay? It could happen after 100 tries. But you continue working on it and you keep tweaking it and you keep adjusting it and figuring out what went wrong. You reflect upon it, you reflect upon yourself, and eventually you're going to get to a point where you see what is it that you need to change and what is it that you need to adjust, and then you get the result that you want and you get the outcome that you want. And the journey is just like that. It's not so much about arriving at that destination quickly, but rather what is that journey and that process going to be like, and how do we deal with that as we go along, and how do we learn from that, how do we recover from the setbacks, how do we celebrate the things, the little wins that we have, but we don't get complacent and we still continue anyway. So if you've liked today's video, subscribe to my channel on YouTube or like my Facebook page wherever you're seeing this on. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. And I'll see you tomorrow.